Hello everyone, I'm Akanksha Mishra and welcome to TNB Academy. Today we are diving deep into a crucial ISO standard that shapes how Earth observation data is structured and shared. ISO 20681-2018. This standard provides a framework for managing geospatial information from high-resolution optical satellite sensors. It is a vital resource for aerospace professionals, space agencies, GIS analysts, and developers of Earth observation platforms. In this session, we will walk through every section of ISO 20681 in detail, ensuring you understand how its structure supports clarity, interoperability, and quality in Earth observation missions. Whether you are part of a satellite project, ground station, or analytics firm, knowing the structure of ISO 20681 will help you align with international best practices and support reliable, standardized data output. Understanding the structural layout of ISO 20681. ISO 20681 follows the familiar layout used in many ISO management system standards, making it initiative for professionals familiar with ISO 9001 or ISO 27001. The standard is divided into several sections, starting with preliminary information like scope, references, and definitions, followed by technical and system-level requirements. The structure supports a logical flow, from defining what the standard covers to explaining how to build systems and structure data accordingly. Each section contributes to a comprehensive view of how optical, high-resolution imagery should be processed, described, and assessed. This modular layout ensures that users can adopt and integrate the standard incrementally or in full, depending on their project's maturity and needs. What ISO 20681 covers? The first section of the standard defines its scope. ISO 20681 applies to systems that acquire, process, and deliver data from high-resolution optical sensors on space platforms. It clarifies that the standard is designed to ensure the consistency and quality of data products across different missions and organizations. The scope also emphasizes that the standard is not limited to a single satellite or data provider. Instead, it is built for generic application across national and international Earth observation programs. This means that if multiple space agencies are sharing EO data, following ISO 20681 ensures that all parties speak the same language regarding metadata, image format, coordinate systems, and quality requirements. Normative references. The standards you need alongside. The second section lists normative references, which are other standards you must consult and use alongside ISO 20681 for full implementation. These include ISO 19115 for geographic metadata, ISO 19111 for spatial referencing, and ISO 19157 for data quality assessment. These references are integral because ISO 20681 doesn't duplicate the content of these standards. Instead, it builds upon them. For instance, when defining metadata, it refers back to ISO 19115 to avoid redundancy. This interconnected approach allows ISO 20681 to remain focused while encouraging users to align with globally recognized geospatial standards. Terms and definition, a common vocabulary. Section 3 introduces a standardized terminology used throughout the standard. This is crucial because it ensures that every user of the document, whether a system architect, data analyst, or a policymaker, understands terms in the same way. Terms like scene, swath, pixel resolution, orthoc certification, and sensor model are defined clearly. These definitions prevent misinterpretation and support smooth communication between different teams working on EO data systems. Having a common language is especially important in multinational missions where inconsistent terminology could lead to major data errors or interoperability failures. Abbreviated terms. Simplifying the reading. In the fourth section, ISO 20681 provides a list of abbreviations that appear throughout the document. This helps the reader interpret the technical content without confusion. Common abbreviations include GSD, that is Ground Sample Distance, DEM, Digital Elevation Model, EO, Earth Observation, and RPC, Rational Polynomial Coefficients. While this section may seem simple, it plays a functional role in making the document accessible and reader-friendly, especially during technical discussions or document reviews. Context and concepts. Why this standard matters. Section 5 lays the conceptual foundation for the standard. It explains why a structured approach to EO data is essential, especially in the age of big data and global information sharing. The standard acknowledged the complexity of space-based imagery systems and the need to harmonize data from multiple sensors and missions. It introduces core concepts like scene-based and tile-based data models, the importance of temporal and spatial consistency, and the need for traceability from sensor to user. This section helps user understand the why behind each requirement in the standard, making implementation more thoughtful and effective. General system requirements. Building a standard compliant EO system. This is one of the most technically rich sections. Section 6 describes what your Earth observation system must be able to do to comply with ISO 20681. Systems must support geometric and radiometric correction, ensure metadata generation at every stage, and provide consistent acquisition parameters. Requirements also cover system calibration, image level definition such as raw corrected and author-certified data, and data traceability. This section is the backbone for EO system developers, ground segment teams, and data distribution networks, ensuring that their process support high quality and standardized outputs. Data content and structure. How your data should look. In Section 7, ISO 20681 specifies how EO data should be structured. This includes guidance on formats like organization, tiling systems, and naming conventions. For example, imagery might be split into tiles or strips, each with its own metadata and consistent resolution. File formats like GeoTIFF are commonly used, and there is emphasis on consistent band ordering and data encoding. These structural choices allow for automation, efficient processing, and long-term RQL. This section ensures that regardless of the satellite or mission, the output data looks familiar and can be used easily by global users. Metadata, the invisible backbone of EO data. Metadata is what makes EO data discoverable, understandable, and reusable. Section 8 focuses on the critical role of metadata. It outlines mandatory metadata fields including acquisition date, sensor type, processing level, geolocation parameters, and radiometric calibration information. The standard recommends using XML-based formats for machine readability and includes references to ISO 19115 and ISO 19139. Proper metadata allow users to access data fitness, align data sets from different missions, and integrate satellite imagery with GIS platforms. Metadata is often ignored until problems arise. This section ensures you get it right from the start. Coordinate system, positioning the Earth correctly. Section 9 provides guidance on spatial referencing and geolocation. It mandates the use of standard coordinate systems, primarily WGS84, and outlines how to document map projections, sensor models, and georeferencing methods. Whether you use RPCs, physical sensor models, or affine transformation, this section ensures that the data can be correctly located on Earth's surface. This is critical for disaster response, infrastructure planning, and climate monitoring, where spatial accuracy is non-negotiable. Clear documentation of pixel alignment, spatial resolution, and transformation methods is also encouraged. Data quality, ensuring accuracy and reliability. Section 10 sets quality requirements for EO data. It defines key quality indicators like positional accuracy, radiometric consistency, and completeness. The standard supports quantitative quality assessment using ISO 19157 as a reference model. Implementers must establish quality control mechanism across the data lifecycle, from sensor calibration and image acquisition to post-processing and delivery. This section ensures that EO data is trustworthy and fit for purpose, whether it is used in agriculture, military intelligence, or environmental monitoring. It also encourages users to include quality metadata, making data selection and filtering easier for downstream users. Practical examples and use cases. The annexes of ISO 20681 are not mandatory but serve as invaluable implementation guides. They include sample metadata templates, data product structures, and use cases like mapping, urban monitoring, and disaster response. The annexes help bridge the gap between theory and practice, showing how the standard can be adapted to real-world missions. For new organizations entering EO data processing, these annexes offer a ready-made blueprint. For mature systems, they act as a benchmark for self-assessment and continuous improvement. Cross-standard integration, working with ISO 19100 family. Although ISO 20681 is comprehensive, it is most powerful when used in tandem with other ISO and OGC standards. Integrating it with ISO 19111, spatial referencing, ISO 19115 metadata, and ISO 19157 quality ensures full semantic and structural alignment with global geospatial data practices. It also supports compatibility with open-source GIS tools, web map services, and cloud-based Earth data platforms. The benefit of using ISO 20681 in this context is that it enables your EO data to plug into international infrastructures like GEOS, Copernicus, or NASA Earth data. Practical implementation. Where to start? Implementing ISO 20681 starts with a gap analysis. Assess your current EO data lifecycle, what formats you use, how metadata is generated, how coordinate systems are defined. Then identify where you fall short of the standard's expectations. Build a roadmap for improvement, starting with low-hanging fruits like file structure standardization and basic metadata generation. Train your team using ISO workshops or internal modules. Create templates and checklists based on each section of the standard. And finally, continuously audit your compliance to maintain quality and interoperability. Structuring a better future with ISO 20681. To wrap up, we can say that ISO 20681 2018 is more than just a technical document. It is a blueprint for consistency, clarity, and collaboration in the space data domain. Each section, from system requirements to metadata and quality, adds a vital piece to the puzzle. By adopting this structure, space missions can deliver EO data that is interoperable, high quality, and trusted by users worldwide. Thank you for staying with us through this deep dive into ISO 20681's structure. If you found value in this video, please like, share, and subscribe to TNB Academy for more detailed walkthroughs of ISO standards.